Masturbation is a normal and healthy part of human sexuality. It's not something that needs to be completely avoided. However, if you're concerned about the frequency or impact of masturbation on your life, there are some strategies that may help you reduce the frequency. Is masturbation bad for you? The problem arises when masturbation becomes such a part of your life that it overshadows other aspects. A lot of it also has to do with your mental health and how you view and depend on the act of masturbation. Some people feel anxious about anything that has to do with sexual urges. Studies have found that of all demographics, young men tend to masturbate the most frequently. Studies have also found that those who masturbate most often have the most anxiety. However, it's worth noting that this is not because of the act itself. The anxiety likely experienced stems from the guilt that one might feel about masturbation. Those with feelings of guilt may experience stress because they constantly feel as though they are doing something they shouldn't be doing. How to know if your habit is out of control? Are you wondering if you really have a problem? If you're starting to wonder, that's a sign that you probably do. But if you are really not sure, here are some warning signs that it's time to make a change. You cancel plans with others to stay home and masturbate. You masturbate in inappropriate places like work or school. You masturbate specifically to relieve anxiety or stress. You feel guilt and shame after doing it, but you still can't stop. You have tried to change your habits in the past but have failed. You have sustained any injury from masturbating. Believe it or not, yes, this is a thing. You just Googled how to stop masturbating. Sorry, but it's true. Still, you're here, and that's a great first step. How much masturbation is too much? According to a 2011 study of 49.1% of teen males masturbate at least twice weekly. The study found that females masturbate less, with 45.5% reporting masturbation just a few times a year, and 22.5% reporting masturbating at least twice weekly. Still, what's normal will vary person to person. Needle says that masturbation is considered excessive if it is interfering with your day-to-day. Ask yourself if your masturbation is getting in the way of your romantic, social, or professional life. Ultimately, Needle says that too much is relative, and there is no concrete answer. The answer will also vary from person to person. Moali says what feels healthy for one person could be problematic for another. You are the best judge of this behavior in yourself and can determine if the activity has become out of control. Moali says, reducing the frequency of masturbation can be accomplished by developing new habits, understanding your triggers, and creating a plan that helps balance your time and energy. Here are some strategies to really helpful. Number 1, avoid pornography. The first step to cutting back is limiting triggers that make you want to masturbate, especially pornography. Visual stimuli in porn are often too strong and might immediately activate your reward pathway. The arousal these images create is more immediate than any other form of sexual fantasy, making it harder to resist masturbation, says Nazan and Moali, PhD, clinical psychologist, sex expert, and host of the Sexology podcast. Number 2, avoid excess alone time. Being alone and bored can be a common trigger for excess masturbation. Most people masturbate when alone, rather than around others. So if they want to decrease the likelihood of masturbating, then being around others more and not isolating would be helpful, says Rachel Needle, PsyD, licensed psychologist and the co-director of Modern Sex Therapy Institutes. Number 3, exercise more often. For many people, masturbation serves as a form of emotional regulation to feel more relaxed, says Moali. This is because orgasms release endorphins. However, another activity that releases endorphins is exercise. That's why Moali says physical activity is an excellent alternative to masturbation. Number 4, wear extra clothing around the house. It's no surprise that being naked or in underwear allows you to have easier access to your genitals. Therefore, if you don't want to masturbate so much, Molly says you can wear more layers of clothing to put a little bit of a delay in the process. Those extra layers can also serve as a reminder of your ultimate goal to masturbate less. Number 5, acknowledge shameful feelings around masturbation. Needle says that many people may feel ashamed about masturbating due to the negative stigma around it in certain communities. And since masturbation isn't openly spoken about often, this can make it difficult for people to determine the underlying reason for their compulsive masturbation, Molly says. Setting aside shame and getting curious about what purpose this behavior serves will help you identify and address the main issues, says Molly. Number 6, keep yourself busy. Have you ever heard the expression about idle hands? You know better than just about anyone that staying in your house by yourself is a recipe for disaster if you're trying to abstain from masturbation. Find a hobby, preferably a hobby that gets you out of the house and doing something active. Since masturbation is an active habit, you're best off finding something active: knitting, taking up yoga, or going for walks. Number 7, hang out with other people. Masturbating is a lonely solo activity, or at least it can be. You probably feel some isolation and loneliness, especially since there's so much shame and guilt associated with the behavior and the alone time it requires. We know that making new friends is hard, but you can do it. Or reach out to the people you already know, but have not been making an effort to see regularly. They probably miss you. Number 8, avoid tempting situations. Stay away from situations or environments that make it easy for you to indulge in the habit. For example, limit your time alone in your bedroom or avoid watching explicit content. Number 9, set goals and monitor progress. Decide on a reasonable goal for yourself, like a reduction plan or setting specific limits. Tracking your progress can help you stay accountable and see your progress over time. Number 10, find a therapist. It's time to seek a therapist if your masturbation habit is getting in the way of your daily functioning. When shopping around, Needle says it's important to find a therapist who specializes in sexual concerns. You can do this by looking for a therapist with a sex therapy certification. It is important to understand what feelings are coming up with regards to their masturbation, why and what factors are contributing to their increased masturbation or belief that their masturbation is excessive, says Needle. It's important to note that masturbation is a normal and healthy part of human sexuality. It's not something that needs to be completely avoided. However, if you're concerned about the frequency or impact of masturbation on your life, these strategies may be helpful.